Hello, everyone, and welcome to this brand new episode of Time Will Tell. The story of It's Only Time. I'm with Jordan again.
Hello.
And my name is Kai. And we didn't do an episode for 4 months, I think.
Probably longer, but yeah,
I-
a long
I mean,
time.
the
At least not this year.
Yeah, and the last video was uploaded 4 months ago. So maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty fast in editing, so it should
could
be
be
around
right.
4 months ago. But yeah, and I already saw people commenting if we still do the podcast or if we,
Have we died?
yeah, or if we just ended the project. No, we didn't. But it just like we just had no time,
It's true. Yeah.
and also we knew the next episode will be crazy. So
Yeah, because what have we got today, Kai?
we've got Fool the World.
This is a great song. This
Yeah.
is probably my favorite on the album.
Yeah, it is my favorite too, and I think I've seen a lot of people who also said this, like like picked that one as a favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I want to say something
Go on.
because I just remembered we got a comment on.
Oh, did we?
On Spotify? Someone said, I can't quote, but someone said like, I love this
remember this.
podcast and stuff, but for God's sake, please stop saying like all the time. And I responded, thanks, but
Like.
we like to say like. And I think it's mainly me, and that's because I'm just not natively speaking English, so the
It's
word
fine.
like, you can put it everywhere in your in English.
Could we do the very final episode? We'll compile every episode
that's-
we've done so far and just add your like in that.
That's a lot of work. We need someone else to do
Will
that.
someone
for
do
us.
that? Yeah.
we need to pay someone to do that. But yeah,
oh,
I'm
that's
trying
funny.
to not say it so many times.
Yeah, but Kai, do you like Fool the World?
I love Fool the World.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
so yeah, this song, before we recorded this episode, I already told you that I probably will talk a lot this time because it's like the song has to. I mean, I can only speak for myself. It has a meaning to me, not
Right.
lyrically, but the song as the song, because I have so many memories from that song.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, maybe I let you speak first because we jump into that. I mean, do we have to say, like, did we forget anything? Because we didn't record for so long. Like, did we do
No,
something at the start?
It has
of the
been a
episode?
while. I
We
mean,
had- we-
guess. Sorry.
We didn't check comments for this video, so we don't answer something, I guess.
No, I mean, first thing I'll just say thanks to anyone that has done the buy me a coffee.
Oh, yeah.
That support really helps us because it is very time consuming.
Yeah.
Putting all of this together, Kai doing the editing as well. So there's a lot of prep at my beginning for putting the multi-tracks together, and there's a lot of prep at the end for Kai doing the actual editing and the uploading and stuff. So it is very time consuming, but of course we love it. We wouldn't
Yeah.
be doing it if we didn't. So if anyone does want to maybe just show a little support, we would really appreciate that, and we'll leave the link probably here or in the description if you
Yeah.
want to. First thing I'll just say, because I feel like Kai would maybe have more to say about this than I will. I really love this song because it is so unstructured to a typical pop song.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have your normal, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Yeah.
It really isn't that at all. In some ways, it's like there's a double bridge, which is also an outro. It's weird. It's not your typical thing,
Yeah.
and I think that feels really refreshing.
Yeah, you cannot you can't cut this song to 3 minutes because it has so many parts, and that's definitely one of the reasons I loved it when I heard it the first time, because it was like, oh, it's not the end now. It's
Yeah.
like continuing.
It's a little bit like Bohemian Rhapsody, isn't it?
Yeah, but I have to say, like, there was the word. I didn't know for a long time who the other singer on that song is.
Okay.
When
yeah.
I discovered all of that, I didn't really pay attention. Probably I didn't even notice that it's not Drake, but it was so obvious, so I'm not sure. But yeah, the song I have so many memories because this was like the song I listened to on my MP3 player when I was in the school bus.
I mean, this is 20 years ago nearly.
That's ages ago. Yeah, I mean, and that was like my everyday song.
Right.
I
Yeah.
listened to it every day, and like not only once. So,
Yeah, of
and
course.
and it was the song I analyzed the most of all the album tracks. And yeah, it even went into sending CJ Abraham an email asking him, "Hey, do you have any different version of this song where I can listen more to the piano because I want to make a cover track of that, and I want to like I need a version where I can hear that better." And he like responded to me really quickly and just sent me an MP3 of his piano version with his
really nice.
voice. Yeah. And that was in around 2012, 2013. And that started me noticing that I actually can reach out to the people. so so
And here you are.
and here we are. And so I talked a lot to CJ over the last 10 years, longer than 10 years. And he like gave me a lot of information about the song and sent me this piano version. I kept it for a very long time to myself. I think a few years later, I just asked him, "Hey man, can I share this like on YouTube or can I share this to people?" And he was like, "Yeah, just do it."
You look behind, see if I was gay, and I go and change the conversation. I know a deeper contemplation is all I need to make believe everyone would love me, and so I go.
Because I think when he sent it to me, he said it's just keep it for you. So I kept it for me.
Of course.
But yeah, so I analyzed this song to death, like, and I'm still not annoyed from that song. So I worked on a cover track from this. I even went to a studio to record drums. I mean, I didn't pay anything because my sister was recording her first album back then. That was in 2011.
Right.
And I had the opportunity to come to the studio for like 30 minutes to record like a drum track because everything was already set up. So I recorded the
course.
drums there just from my head because I never learned the song and never used the drum track, by the way. I was never satisfied with my playing.
Okay.
I still have it somewhere. But yeah, I worked on a cover track for ages. Like it took me like 2 years. I think I released that. I made a big music video of my cover song, with like a backing band for the video. But actually, the girl who plays on the piano in the video actually played on the song on the piano.
Oh, right. So, okay.
And these were all my school people, like they were
Right.
from my school, and that was already after my school days. But like I had the contact with them. My brother did the backhouse mic part, at
Cool,
least a little
okay.
bit of it.
Right in front of me, Copper Maine. heart could melt the snow. So I go. This ain't the conversation I know. The conversation is all I need to make I can't survive another day in the life without a day in the sun.
We did that whole video, which I don't know, I put so much work into making like a cover song. It's kind of, yeah, I mean, I'm not doing that today anymore because I'm putting the work into my own stuff. But
Of course.
But yeah, so, and then I don't know, I can't remember because I don't have all the emails anymore. That's sad because I had a lot of conversations with CJ. I sent him this music video and he just sent me back a picture of Mike sitting in the back house watching my music video.
Yeah, and you see the back of his chair watching the screen with you on it.
Yeah. And I'm sharing this picture for the first time now because I also never, like, I didn't post this anywhere
Right.
since, I don't know, 2013 or something. Because he also said, like, just for you, don't post it. So, but I just asked him if he thinks it's cool to share it. So, and yeah, so that's Mike sitting in his studio
No.
watching the video, and I was freaking out back then.
I guess
I was
yeah.
like sending this picture to my whole family. Look, and they all were like, "Who's that guy? Like, we don't know. We have no clue who he is."
That's funny. But yeah, that's quite the achievement, though.
Yeah, that was like my goal was reached.
Yeah, that's it.
But actually,
die happy.
looking at this from today, like looking back at it, I can be really lucky that they paid attention to me because that cover song was not really good. It was like, I don't know, 2 semitones lower than the original because I couldn't sing high. I mean, I still can't, but I think I can sing Fool the World in the original key now. But back then I couldn't because I was smoking a lot of cigarettes. But so I had to transpose every song like down. But yeah,
That's the thing, actually, is that so many artists that are prevalent in the music scene,
Yeah.
especially male vocalists, can reach fairly high.
yeah. Actually, Drake can sing really high. By the way, like if he wants to. But yeah, so yeah, I was lucky to get their attention because "Fool the World" and all the other songs really kind of had me. I learned a lot from that. But I think I mentioned that a lot of times in this podcast that kind of that record teached us a lot about producing and stuff.
Yeah.
But this song especially probably were the main reason I checked out Jellyfish and all this stuff. I mean, there was a lot of stuff we knew before Drake, the Beatles and stuff like that. We know that, but Jellyfish, I had no clue.
Yeah, no, me neither.
And then we had Mike at the song at the end, and I remember that he had a MySpace for a short.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
He had a MySpace. He had
Wow.
it was like
Doesn't sound like him at all.
yeah, I know, but I mean, before he probably decided to not be like a public person. He was on Twitter, he was on MySpace, he was posting on Twitter actually. There was a post I think in 2008, he was like posting, bringing Drake to the Universal Studios now. I think that's where they probably recorded Superhero Song.
Oh, maybe, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So they were like trying to be public persons kind of. They had the backhouse.net, the website.
Yeah.
Which was like there for
With
a
CJ.
year and then never updated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And And then I noticed him and checked out his MySpace, and he had like a few songs on there, like I Believe and Make Me Wait and all these songs. So, and then I noticed, okay, he's the producer of everything. Now it makes sense why he's on that, because it was like, if you don't know, it's kind of weird. Drake has a feature song with someone you can't
Yeah.
even find.
It's such a good point, actually. It's not really a credit, is it? Really?
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of cool because it were like a three member thing, the album. And I mean, CJ didn't sing lead anywhere, but I mean, Mike and Drake were like a team before CJ. I think before he was part of the team, and it's kind of, I don't know, it was kind of nice to like give Mike that spot. Give
Yeah,
him that
yeah.
spotlight, because that album was sold many times and they were on tour doing that live, and Mike did sing his part live, and the fans were crazy. I mean, they really loved him.
Yeah.
They were.
I guess as well, I think Mike brings to the party a big sort of showmanship thing. So the visual I remember from around that time was when I saw, this was before really YouTube was taking off. I used to see some pictures of him, and he wore this top hat and this sort of, not a cape, but an old
yeah.
school jacket, long
So
jacket.
cool.
Yeah.
Jellyfish
Yeah, exactly. That kind of
meets
thing.
the Beatles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that kind of feeling is what I imagine when I listen to that, like a big sort of showmanship thing.
Yeah.
That, it's just great. And it's a moment where Mike really shines. Vocally, I mean, it's an impressive performance.
Yeah.
And there's some really interesting musical applications with the guitar that happens there that isn't very typical pop
Yeah.
at all. I mean, the songs. This probably means nothing to you, Kai, because I know that you don't really think in terms of chords and keys and things. But for anyone that geeks out on this, the song is in G harmonic minor. I mean, how many pop songs are in harmonic minor? Probably not many.
Not many from 2006,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
especially from like after, I think, the 70s.
it's got a unique sound.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think I can already say that we probably will, when we have It's Only Time done, we probably will also like make an episode where we want to talk a little bit more about the Backhouse and stuff. And also Mike's solo songs for sure.
Yeah.
Because some of them are connected to Drake. So
I mean, Drake's even played a few, like Sleep.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I mean. But yeah, because we shouldn't, like, if we keep talking about Mike, we don't have anything to say in a possible new episode. But I was going crazy for this song, and yeah, I was trying to get my hands on the stamps of It's Only Time since that day. I was really like, I was messaging CJ, hey man, I know like that's crazy, but can you send me that? Can you send me the stamps? And I want to listen to all the elements. And he said yes, but since he was so busy, like it took another 10 years until like I got anything. But yeah, I mean, what I also noticed, and I noticed that pretty late, was that Fool the World has a few different versions, I guess. We don't have all of them, but some of them were played in Zoe 101
Yeah.
in the background.
Like
At
very
least-
early versions, aren't they?
It's not, I mean, we don't have a proof that these are Fool the World early versions. Maybe these are just scoring songs, and he took the melody from Fool the World to make something.
Oh,
took
maybe,
these
yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
We will also play them, but the quality is not really good because they were extracted from the episode, and there's some noises on it and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I suppose one thing to say is that this song, they clearly went through a lot of different iterations of it, and just to tease something to enjoy later, we do at some stage, whether it is in today's episode or in the future, there are some alternate takes, there are some outtakes even, because everyone knows the end of that song, there's a bit of giggling that you hear, and that actually ties into the multi-tracks that we have, and it kind of makes it all make sense. On top of that, to tease an idea too, there's a guitar solo that was envisioned in it too, that obviously didn't make it into the final edit. And so there's clearly a lot of thoughts behind it. I guess this is fair to say, this was really a CJ and Mike song predominantly, that I assume Drake came to the table with after with other ideas because he loved it. And, I'm sure tweaks were made after that fact. But I think this was predominantly a CJ and Mike thing, which makes sense why there's the CJ vocal version.
Yeah, I think the demo we never heard probably was done by CJ, and then Drake heard it, and they kind of, like, he loved it, obviously. So they were kind of reworking stuff and making it like a collaboration thing.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm not sure if the version that's playing on Zoe 101, maybe that just has CJ's voice because they didn't want to use Drake's or something. Like, I don't know. Like maybe they couldn't. Maybe Drake was in a contract. Maybe they wouldn't spoil. Maybe they didn't want to spoil like a new Drake Bell song or something. So possibly. I think CJ started the song with Mike, then Drake heard it and they like finished it together and stuff, changed lyrics, and I would love to hear like a very early version of it because I want to hear how they would place the guitar solo, for example.
Yeah, I'm assuming it would have fit in where everyone would love me if I could fool the world, which was, I guess, the original ending to the song. And then the drummer, forgive me, I'm just going to check his name now in my notes, Joey Finger.
Yeah.
Joey Finger, who drummed on this song, just continued with the and that then just became the additional bridge / outro. And I'm guessing the solo would have fit there.
Yeah.
I think it would have just come straight into a guitar solo. But I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I added the guitar solo in so people can hear it. Before we jump into the sessions, also just want to mention the live version of Fool the World because it has a complete different intro, which also blew me away when I heard it the first time because it's kind of that jazz intro thing.
Forgot about, of course, yeah. That's like in the Mexico DVD that we hear.
Help could melt the snow. And I go to save the conversation. I know a deeper contemplation is all I need to make believe
the first verse is completely piano and muted trumpet, and it's kind of like like a swing jazz thing from the 40s.
It's like a noir sort of, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, the song hits, and I think that's one of the strongest things on the live DVD.
Yeah. It's so well.
Yeah, and then
managed.
especially because Mike does his little he sneaks in little guitar licks when he sings his solo. That's a crazy part. He's singing his solo part, like his part of the song, and whenever there's a break in his sentences, he sneaks in like little licks. That's so cool. And
I actually have some really old videos. You've probably seen them, but I'll send them to you. If you want,
please.
Feel free to stick them in here.
Yeah.
And it's exactly that, where he's singing part of his bridge outro thing, and then he's just doing like little bends on the guitar and stuff. And it's really funny because you can totally tell how much his mind is connected to it, because he starts doing that kind of vibrato in his voice as well as he's thinking about the bend.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, there's also that other, that's not Fool the World, but it's a good example because there's one song on the live DVD, I think it's Falling For You, where he has a guitar solo. And at one point, he's starting to sing along to his solo.
Yeah.
And he's singing exactly the notes he's playing. Probably, we don't know how many times he did that before on tour, because they were on tour since 2005, I think. Since 2005, Mike was on the piano first, I think. But, Fool the World wasn't out in 2005, but I think they started playing it in 2006, so 2 years till the live DVD. And maybe they did this tons of times before, but it seems like Mike definitely knows whenever he's doing a solo, he can sing along the same time. So maybe he exactly knows which note comes on the fretboard. Maybe he
Possibly.
has perfect pitch. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? But
I think he's just very well practiced.
yeah, and it's such a. I think singing along to the guitar solo notes is such a cool thing to show. Like, to show how skilled you are. Like, look, I can sing along. I know exactly what I'm doing.
That's true. Yeah.
And it works because whenever he's doing guitar solos and he does some weird stuff, I'm like, how can you play that good? Like, how can you? I don't know. Like, there's even that little video of him completely freaking out in the studio, doing like a solo for some scoring track. And he's
That's where he's using the Line 6 Variax as well.
Yeah, the one you have too.
That has no pickups.
Yeah, and he's completely freaking out. I mean, it was a little bit for the video, of course, but it's
I think that's what
great.
I mean when I say he's very showman, and it's probably the opposite of what he is as an actual person, because he seems to me like he would be a very introverted person, and obviously there's not many interviews with him, etc. And but on the stage, he absolutely owns it.
Yeah. And also the what you mentioned about his style on stage, like with like his jacket and stuff. That's how I imagined, like, if they were. Now we keep talking about Mike. If he had an actual solo career, that's what I would imagine his style to be like.
Interesting.
Kind of like a mixture by Jellyfish and the Beatles. Because it reminds me of the King is Half Undressed video from Jellyfish.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I don't know. Before we jump into the STEM session, should I show a little outtakes compilation, or should I do
think
that?
we should leave that at the end.
Yeah. Okay. What end? Like after?
After the multi-tracks,
Okay.
I think.
Then we will save that, but don't skip.
I don't think you want to skip. It's
I
a
can
really
see,
interesting
like,
thing.
I can actually see if you skip. So because I can look in the analytics or how it's called in English, and I can see when people skip. So
Yeah, and it even tells Kai
there will be no
your
new
name
episode.
and address, and he
we
will hunt
we
you
will
down.
cancel the podcast if you skip.
We'll delete the video.
Yeah.
But
Also, this episode probably has a lot of pictures and stuff. Just want to say thanks to, I don't know, let's call it the Backhouse fan team or something. I don't know the names, but we have like a few people sent us pictures and stuff we didn't have.
Yeah, really
for
appreciate
this.
that.
So thanks for this.
And they were very kind to allow us to show them as well.
Yeah.
So
Let's
without further
do
ado,
it.
should we? Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Before we just get into that, I'll just mention a couple of the credits as I have before.
Mm-hmm.
The album says it was, sorry, the credits on the album says this track was produced by Mike and CJ. Makes sense based on what we said.
Mm-hmm.
Drums were Joey Finger. The percussion was Mike. I'm assuming this is the tambourine, etc. Guitars were Mike and Drake. Horns were CJ. And the background vocals were Mike and CJ. The scratches, the sound effects that you hear is DJ E-Rock. And the orchestral samples is Vienna Symphonic Library, which we've mentioned previously as well.
Yeah.
So, should we just get into it?
We should.
Cool. All right.
We shouldn't let them wait because most people come for this, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. They don't come to hear us rabbit on. So, okay. So just like usual, we start with the drums. And something that I don't think I've really mentioned before, but is just really amusing to me, is that most people would maybe not do this to the toms, which is literally cut the sound out.
Yeah.
Which is quite funny. Often it would be gated or something like that, but it literally in the Pro Tools sessions, it's just cut, which I guess is the ultimate gate. So you hear these kind of
Oh yeah, actually,
just hard cuts.
yeah, actually, I do this all the time. I mean, no, I don't do hard cuts. I fade it out.
Yeah,
because it feels better. But
yeah.
probably you wouldn't hear this. But I mean, to be honest, I think that method is way better than because all the gate plugins, I don't
You
know,
have to
they
set your
don't
thresholds, don't you? And
they don't do their job. Like
Yeah.
they miss stuff. So I just cut out the toms, and then I mix in samples. And so
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they were really strict with cuts, I guess.
yeah. It's quite funny actually. I think sometimes I listen to it and think it does sound like a bit of a hard cut there.
Yeah.
But I mean, unless you're really looking for it, you literally do not think about it at all.
Yeah.
I think it was more around here. Let me just play it, and you'll notice that bit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
It ends. It ends very soon. Yeah. The tom.
Yeah, quite abruptly. But anyway, so yeah, we've got the drums. I'll just play a whole bunch of those for you, so you can hear it. I'll add the tambourine in as well. Sounds great.
Yeah.
You can really hear the replacement kick sample though, can't you?
Yeah.
How prominent that is.
Yeah, but we can't. On the album, we never noticed.
Yeah, of course.
I was always like, wow, this drum mix is so great. How did they do this? And then I saw the samples and I was like, all right, That's the
Makes
same way I
sense.
do it.
It makes sense. I mean, no one's going to listen to an album and think, oh, I hope they've not put samples in this.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I never listened to that song again when I noticed that there's samples. Like, since then,
Exactly.
I hated it.
Yeah,
I hate
exactly.
this song
Who
now.
said that? Yeah, I'll just continue playing just a little bit more. Yeah, so good.
All
I
right.
never actually realised the tambourine shake
Yeah.
there. Did you?
No. Oh, yeah, cool. By the way, I see now what you mean with hard cuts, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit too, but I think they did that because, and that's the same issue I got with Tom recordings, is that whenever you do a drum fill and then you hit like a crash, you hear that on the Tom mic. So the crash is way too loud.
Yeah.
So you want to cut away before the crash hits, but most of the time you can't because it's so close. So they probably cut away so strict because of that. Because
Probably makes sense.
yeah, because they didn't want the crash to be in the microphone. But yeah,
But maybe a fade would have
that's
worked.
why. Yeah, a fade would be good, but also like that's why I put samples to it, because
Yeah.
just mix samples in so you can avoid the cut. Like you don't hear the cut anymore that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it just felt a little bit abrupt.
Maybe
but
they
maybe as
forgot.
well.
Maybe they forgot.
Maybe, yeah, who knows? But the other thing as well is that the other issue with live recordings of Tom's is that you can get that low resonant rumble throughout. So, I mean, it does make sense to remove that,
Yeah.
whether that is gating or literally removing it from the session as this was. So, yeah, if anyone was thinking, well, why not just leave it? I guess
Yeah,
that
because
makes
you
sense.
would have the whole song. You would have on these tracks. You would have a sound which is like all the time, and that's why you cut away that, or you gate away that. But like I said, gates never do that job. So so yeah,
You
and I
have
mean,
to be precise.
I mean, nowadays you don't need the gate anymore because you can actually do an AI separation and you can get really clean toms. But
Okay.
back then you couldn't do that. So
Yeah. And amazing records were made before AI.
yes,
That, there's always going to be a way. This is just taking us into I guess, the original ending, which was as so. Which I assume is, again, where the song would have initially ended. But then Joey Finger continued playing, and we get this. And also, I've never really paid as much attention to it to think that the hi-hat is doing the rhythm that you hear in the guitar.
oh
I've
true.
just never thought about that with the da 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 da. Yeah, I've never really thought about that until now.
Can you go back to the break, to the last hit of the break? Did you notice something there? The last hit of the break.
Here?
No. Before, like the fake, the fake ending. Yeah, that. Play that and listen closely. So to me, that sounds like they had the snare drum did play there, but they didn't put a sample because they didn't want it to be there. Can you play the real snare only
Yeah.
for that part? Maybe I'm just hearing it wrong. Wow.
And let me just
oh,
hear
no,
the
no,
room.
no. It's on the overheads, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there an extra one? Oh, there is another one.
Yeah, that snare hit.
Interesting.
They obviously didn't want to have, so they cut it away on the other tracks. So it's only the kick. You can listen to everything. It's not there, but you
Yeah.
can hear it in our tracks. You can hear it.
Interesting.
Just noticed that. I didn't know.
Yeah, I never paid attention to that. That's interesting. Yeah, so that you've got this new outro thing, which then has another bridge, which is as so. Sorry. I am fired. Sounds great.
Yeah.
I think that's the most obvious part for me with the hard cut on the toms.
Yeah.
Just there.
It is
I
obvious.
think another one here too.
True.
Just quite funny.
Can you go back for a second? I want to listen to yeah, from there.
Super hard cut.
Yeah. But play it again. I mean, let it play a little bit.
Okay. What are you thinking?
I was just thinking if they looped that section
Maybe.
from like,
They do look similar, but they are different.
yeah, because he's playing the same thing there and it's almost sounded identical to me, but it looks different.
I mean, maybe it was a slightly different velocity that they adjusted or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it could be because the song had, I think, many versions before, so maybe they had to loop something.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool.
And in the last little stretch of these drums, then.
Great.
There you go. And I just realised as well they have the crash and the timpani as well.
Yeah, that's for the orchestra part, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is quite fun. So yeah, I really like the playing. It just sounds great. It's nice and tight.
Yeah.
It's perfect for what it is,
Yeah.
really. I mean, you're a drummer, so you'd probably appreciate it on an even deeper level. But
I mean, I started the drums at some point, yeah, but never kept going. So I'm on the same level since 20 years. So
well, it's still higher than me.
yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't consider myself like a drummer. I don't know.
Fair enough.
It's just I can play a little bit of everything, so that's part of it. But I don't. I'm making music.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Then we have the bass guitar. This again, DI, straight into the desk, I assume. And this is what that sounds like. And you can hear a couple of sliding notes in there
Yeah.
as well, which is quite nice. The other thing, I always thought that this was played on a 5-string bass, but I spoke to CJ and he said they only ever used a 4-string. So I think they must have just tuned it down, which maybe explains the slight rattle of the strings.
Okay.
Because the deepest note on there is E flat, and it would normally be E. So yeah, that is my assumption of what went on there.
I never
but it-
thought about that.
Yeah, so I just assumed it was easy to have a 5th string.
Yeah.
But apparently not. And also, what's kind of cool in the bass of this is, of course, the piano is playing a descending part in the verses, and the bass is just staying on G the whole time, literally the same note.
Yeah, it's changing octaves.
Yeah. But it's all based around G, which is really interesting because exactly the same thing was in I Know.
True. I didn't think about that.
But yeah, although one's major and one's minor. But yeah, just to play a little bit of the end of the chorus. And then you'd have the little piano twinkles. And much more of the same.
Yeah.
The other thing I forgot to mention at the start of this was that in some of the alternate takes, rhythmically it was different. It was played differently in the choruses, in that they went to one of the chords a lot faster, and I guess that just got scrapped because all the instrumentation also went towards that too. There was an alternate bass take that followed that, and so on. The part I'm referencing with what changed, let me just think about this. Oh, yeah, it's on the line, all I need to make believe, that part in the chorus, which would normally be that kind of rhythm. So you've got that 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's fairly evenly split. In the very early versions of it,
I know exactly what you're going to say. Maybe,
let me think. And it's got that little... there is a name for that. That's going to really annoy me, and I'm a music teacher.
Yeah, and I'm German, so I don't know the English word. I think you want to. I think the German word is vorgezogen.
That's definitely not the word I was thinking.
I can check what that means in English. So I tell you, and then you tell me if that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
Wow, that sounds wrong. Prearranged chord. No, that's not correct. But that's the Google's translator. It's shit.
Okay. Who'd ever use Google? God, they'll go nowhere.
Yeah. Advanced.
What is it called?
Advanced chord.
It's called a musical push. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
It's pushed slightly ahead of the beat. Anyway,
That's what I
irrelevant.
That's exactly what I mean. And there's also like, I mean, for the CJ version, there's different takes of CJ recording this song, and there's parts I think I heard before we started this episode where he is singing that part different as well.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So yeah, it makes sense.
To fit with that different rhythm. Yeah, cool. I will press forward. All good. And then, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
Particularly at the end, because it is just G.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. occasional slide.
I think that's even looped at parts.
Probably. Occasional little
yeah.
slide to A,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that the more interesting part is when it's the bridge of the bridge. I don't know how you'd reference that,
The second bridge.
which must be around here. And also, did you notice where you can hear two of the same note playing at the same time?
Yeah.
Which is maybe not the most typical thing on a bass.
No, but actually, my brother, who is a bassist, he's also doing that sometimes on purpose.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. It's a
Yeah.
little power chord anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, lots of arpeggios. And then not much to say about the rest. Back to what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the bass. Not a whole lot happening in terms of the what's the word in terms of the processing to that.
Yeah. It's pretty raw.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think that when you listen to the album.
No. I mean, it's quite heavily squashed in
It's-
terms of the compression.
Yeah. That's so crazy because also like the bass on that record, influenced me on my bass sounds. And whenever I had my brother recording bass, I was like kind of aiming to get this sound.
Right.
This sound. I was always like, yeah, the bass on that song sounds great. I want to have this sound. And I was trying stuff like miking the amp and doing it direct in and using different plugins and methods. And then I heard these stems and it's just raw bass. What?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. There's literally
I'm too dumb to get that sound, and it's just a raw DI bass. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it went through Amplitube, but
At least.
it's but
Yeah.
it's. I mean, just to give you an idea, this is what the clean sound is. It's not hugely different.
Yeah.
That definitely is very raw, but it's not hugely different,
No.
to be honest. Apparently, must be some alternate takes in this
Oh, yeah.
folder as well. Shall I just quickly see if I can find that little skip thing? Mm-hmm. I might not. If not, just cut this out. Let me find. Where would it be? To me, that sounds like an outtake.
Yeah. Totally. He was,
I'll
he was
ignore it.
learning the song.
Oh, what's this one? It's not doing it. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll ignore that.
You will find it in the piano.
Yeah, true. So then next, interestingly, is the
guitars.
guitar.
Yeah.
Or at least some of them. So this, I love it.
Nice. And he's
Yeah.
playing not the same. He's not playing the same thing on both of these recordings.
The sides, yeah.
Yeah. He's slightly changing some of the chords there, and it makes it wider. We love if
definitely.
it's wider.
Yeah, hard panned left and right. The other thing as well, I think you know this, Kai, but
I do.
This was this is definitely not. This was, first of all, this was a DI signal, but it was reamped, and it was
Oh, yeah.
recorded from a microphone, which is not like a lot of the other songs on the album.
I didn't know that, but what I was curious about is the unused solo we mentioned before, because that one, I think it's not in the files in like as a DI signal. It's there as an amped mic.
Yes. Yeah.
Microphone. So, and you can hear actually the Fool the World version in the headphone bleed.
Yeah.
In the background, or maybe you hear
Or
like
it's just a
speakers in the
control room
background.
or something. Yeah.
So, I don't know. At some point, he switched to DI and then using Amp Farm, but
Well, I mean, it was DI, so there is a DI
I know
version of
what
this.
you talk about. Yeah, and then they run it through an amp.
Yeah.
And mic'd it. Yeah, maybe Mike didn't had the right sounds on Amp Farm. He felt
Maybe.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people who don't work in music production don't know what we talk about. Can you explain it for a second?
So DI means direct in. So if you have an interface, you can plug your guitar straight into the interface, which would go into the computer, and you record the clean signal with no amplification sounds at all. And what you can do is then, when you've got that clean signal, you can use software and what's called plugins to virtually simulate an amp sound. But what you can also do is you can take that signal you've recorded and send it out to a physical amp, which you can then record with a microphone as if you were playing it into an amplifier traditionally, but it's pre-recorded.
Yeah, and that
Essentially.
and that also maybe is interesting to know. Many people, I mean, at least when I was in the studio, that few times I really saw a studio from inside, they always captured a DI signal as well as the amp sound whenever they recorded something, because to have the option later to go back to switch the sound, because if the take, like if the take was good, but they didn't want to play it again because the take was good, but they just wanted to have a different sound, they would have the DI signal available to just send it back to the amp or just to use a virtual thing.
Yeah.
So whenever
Or mix the two.
or mix the two, yeah. And when I was in the studio for the first time with my second band I played in, we recorded just one song. But when I got the stamps, the multi-tracks, there were many different DI signals in it, and I was wondering back then because I didn't had any clue back then, but now I know why, because they always save the DI signals to have options, and
Makes sense.
So yeah, totally.
Yeah, and just to play a little bit more of this. There you go. Lots
good.
of, as you said, different parts in that are
Yeah.
just ping-ponging back
Yeah.
and forth. Sounds great. The guitar in this, I mean, surprisingly, there's not a lot.
Yeah, but you always thought there is a lot of guitar tracks in that song
Definitely.
because it sounds so full, and that's also one of the main reasons I took ages to make a cover of that song back in 2012, 11, whatever, because I was never satisfied with the guitars. My project had like 7 guitar tracks,
Yeah.
my final project. Yeah, because it sounds so full. Because he's such he's like playing it perfectly. So
I think he's a professional.
he is. I think he should work in music. Actually,
Yes,
he should
yeah,
do
weird,
that.
isn't it?
Like he should make money with that.
Yeah. Project Bring Back Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
and
he can work for us. We can pay.
I
him.
really don't think he will.
We can pay him $50 per guitar track.
Oh, yeah.
We support you, man.
I'd definitely do that, but I know he wouldn't. Yeah, just to play a little bit more, I should have probably named all these sections so I could see where we were in the song. But I didn't, but that is okay. There you go. And you can really hear that little C7, and it's an open C chord
Yeah.
on one of those sides there.
Know exactly what you're talking about.
And
Open C's, that's my thing.
I think was it this side? No, it was this one.
Yeah.
And then we get into what I think was my favorite part of this song, guitar-wise.
Yeah.
And this is,
I already know, but yeah, keep talking.
yeah, it's when it's this real harmonic minor feeling thing.
Mm-hmm.
This, so harmonic minor as a scale is the sound of this.
Yeah.
And it's that.
Yeah,
that
so
thing.
that's like the lead melody to me of that song.
Yeah.
And that makes the song, I think, interesting to many people, that melody.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the vocals and the chorus, everything, but that, I don't know. It's
It's
also
great.
such a Mike thing.
Yeah. It's got a very particular way of playing it that if you didn't hold the guitar in a certain way, it just does not work. I'll play it for you. Here we go. So good. You can hear the hard cut at the end of that left side.
Yeah, but that that thing before the break was one of the coolest things I heard in my
This?
life. That that panning thing, that it's going
yeah.
from the left to the right, but he's playing it that way, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was one of the coolest things I discovered on that album.
Yeah.
It's just like it's art to do that.
Yeah.
And
And it is literally two different things because one is doing this, that kind of,
Yeah,
that kind of little pull off.
yeah,
And then one doing that.
yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that, together they are literally just ping ponging from
Correct,
one
yeah.
side to the other.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's great. And then you have a little bit more of the same, and then this is the bridge of the bridge.
Cool.
It's also another thing I completely forgot about this is that at the end there's the little just sliding to get to the last chord,
Oh yeah.
which is quite nice. And then this was my favorite bit of everything, where you've got this third guitar doing exactly what you were saying. I love it. Let me play it.
Yeah, so
It's
cool.
really well done.
Kind of like a funky amped guitar thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Reminds me of funk music.
It's great. So syncopated, but it's got a groove to it.
Yeah.
And also, do you notice how in this, I believe it's this solo guitar part, that it's also really boomy in the subs.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
That you can really. There.
Yeah.
Which obviously just was not cut out fully.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. But interesting, that one's Amp Farm.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it was added later.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But when you think about that song, it's obviously piano driven, but it soon becomes very heavy, obviously. To me, the guitars take over. So yeah, it's just a massive surprise that there's really two channels and then occasionally one more.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it becomes more guitar driven when when Mike starts his part of the song.
Yeah, true.
So he
Yeah.
puts in more guitars. Kind
Yeah, makes sense. So that's the guitars. Then we've got the piano, which was your favorite thing.
Yeah.
I'll play a little bit of that. So
Can you go back to the beginning?
Yeah. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Sorry, just to interrupt you there. You can hear, so it's like a jacket hitting the piano at the very start. There's a little click.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing,
And I actually
Sorry.
noticed that in the first time I listened to that song, I noticed it already, but I thought this is like an effect thing. Because you have also that intro thing which kind of fits to that, you know? That intro radio sound. And then then the piano hits and then you hear a little sound there which still
Yeah.
can be from the radio, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
There's also something that's funny as well, is this take was part of the take that I was talking about, where it was that pushed chord thing. And it's a hard cut where the new recording was.
Yeah.
And when you know that, it's so obvious. Let me just play it. That was a different recording.
Oh, show me again that part.
So it was around, I think it's here. It's a different recording.
I actually
there.
don't notice.
Oh, okay.
I can't
But yeah,
notice that. I noticed another cut somewhere in the song, I remember.
I know there was one in Telegraph that was, for
Yeah,
me,
but
a really
that one is
obvious cut.
not what I'm talking about because I think I listened to the piano many times. I think somewhere there's another fade into a different take, but I'm not sure though.
I mean, this track is comped from lots of different things.
Yeah.
I just thought it was quite a funny thing. I will continue it a bit. So good.
I love how I love how a certain note is always in every chord, which is I
that
can't tell the
little
note, but it's
G thing.
that note.
Oh, it's not what I was thinking, actually.
It stays there all the time.
It's good voice
In
leading.
every chord. I love that.
Yeah. And in this chorus, I think as well, it's so geeky, going from, what would it be? I don't know what it would be. Going from the C minor to the F, there's a little chromatic run that happens.
Oh yeah,
that happens.
That's also one of my favorite parts of that song because
love
it's kind of that jazzy swing style,
bluesy kind of yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, so cool.
Just so nice. It's so good. But the piano sounds great as well. It's recorded really well.
Yeah, totally.
Like a lovely stereo.
Yeah.
And just to push that forward a little bit more.
It's there.
Yeah. There we go. Is it that bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. It's like the drama,
Yeah.
the tension, and then the release. Yeah. And then we get to this part, which is, again, it's kind of just a static G minor chord and just playing around with the scale in between of it. I always wondered how he was playing this. I have a sneaking suspicion because it's really awkward, actually. Well, I think it's really awkward with one hand. It feels to me like it would be part of a two-handed thing. But I could be wrong.
I don't know.
And then it introduces the C minor thing. Total G harmonic minor thing going on.
So good.
That guitar just throws me off on the left.
Yeah.
And then you have more of the same, and eventually you get to the bridge of the bridge.
The bridge, that piano bridge is like one of the best things in the world to me. Like the way it's
so
played,
good.
the
Yeah.
way I don't know. It has so many emotions.
Yeah, there's if I remember correctly, there's like add 9 chords and things like that. It's just really, really nicely extended.
Yeah.
There.
So good.
Yeah.
Can you check in the alternative piano? Maybe that
wonder if
part
I-
you talked about is there if you have it.
Oh, maybe. Let's see. Is it? I might. I don't know if I actually have that in this session.
Okay.
Actually. Oh, it might be.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Maybe you play it together with some like with the guitar so people can hear the
How different.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't work.
Just sounds kind of wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be even more obvious with the bass. Just doesn't
Yeah.
quite have the same snap to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe this was the intro that was used. Oh no, it wasn't.
I didn't hear the click.
No. No, it wasn't the
No, it
original
wasn't.
intro. Yeah, the biggest change really was this.
Oh, yeah. That's also cool.
It is cool,
It's
yeah,
cool.
but it's just not the song.
I
that
don't
we
know why, but I don't know why I didn't do like a proper Fool the World extended version yet. I didn't work on that. Probably because I'm afraid to touch that song.
Yeah,
But I mean, we should do something. I mean,
Yeah.
you have Amp Farm. We can even fake in some guitars which aren't even mic, but sounding
Yeah,
that like
yeah.
I don't know. There's so
True,
many cool
yeah.
things.
There's some. I wonder how similar this is. It's like never ending.
Cool. That's really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I never listened to that alternative piano.
Should
I mean, I
play
did, but not the whole thing.
yeah. Shall I play the bridge of
Yeah.
that just to see what that sounds like?
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah, but so good. That chord progression. That's so like I don't know, that's one of these musical things that
Yeah.
can make me cry, actually. Like if I listen enough to that piano, I actually can cry because not because I'm sad or something, but it's just it's
Beautiful.
It's waking up emotions. I don't know how
Okay.
to say in English, but
What do you think, listeners? Shall we make him cry?
no, please.
The other thing I've just realised on this alternate track, look how long it goes for.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I guess the drums would have been maybe played longer or looped or something, and
Yeah.
they would have comped the best thing. Yeah.
Maybe it was just too long. Maybe they didn't want to. Maybe they wanted to be under 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's really cool. It is really
Yeah.
cool. It's a privilege to be able
I
to
think we
hear
never
this.
spent so much time listening to the piano track in the other episodes. But
true.
yeah, I mean, you gotta enjoy this. I mean, I think people will appreciate us to check out that track for so long because I think
Yeah.
everyone loves that. And if
Absolutely.
you listen to the piano only, you will always notice something you didn't notice in the whole track in that album mix. So
Absolutely. I think we've said it before, but it just gives you such a deeper appreciation when you next listen to the song, when you know what's gone into it, and you'll hear things that you can never unhear.
yeah,
And I love that.
yeah, definitely.
We won't spend too long on this one, but we've got the organ. I imagine this is MIDI, but I can't remember.
It's MIDI.
So
Nice.
good. The little swell. Love it.
The organ doesn't do a lot.
Not at all.
has
It's
two-
there in 2 bits, yeah.
2 spots. Yeah,
I think, is this in the bridge of the bridge? I think it is.
yeah.
I love those slides.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works perfectly for it.
Yeah.
It probably didn't need organ anywhere else. It's already very
True.
full. Synths. Okay, this is interesting. So this is, as soon as I play it, everyone will recognize where that's from.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the little motif. Again, very, harmonic minor.
Yeah.
I believe it's really just doing that. It does
Yeah.
change a little bit later on. What was this one? Oh. Doing this. Yeah. So a very much a copy of the same thing.
I remember spending like hours to find similar synth sound like that
Right.
when I made my cover. Like I wanted to have every sound accurate. So yeah. It doesn't sound like that, to be honest. Just noticing. It's wasted my time.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was time well spent. Here we got the same again. There's, I think it's just more of the same because
Yeah.
it's just repeating that. Yeah, that motif, but it adds a lot to the song.
Now
and
we
the
come to
texture of
the
it.
orchestra stuff.
Yeah, orchestral. We've got a Glock, Celestia, a flute, and a clarinet.
All the beautiful MIDI instruments.
Yeah, courtesy of Siena Symphonic Library.
Yeah.
Vienna, sorry.
To be honest, that was the thing back then. Like in the early 2000s, that was pretty expensive, and
Still
it
is.
was like if you wanted to have good sounding orchestra stuff, that was the plug-in thing you wanted to buy, and that wasn't. I think it was. I don't know if it even was like $1,000, but it was at least like $600 or
I'm
something.
sure it's still like for the full thing like $800.
Yeah, it's still really expensive. I never got this. I never got my hands on this because I don't know how, but I knew ages ago that they were using this. I think it's in the credits.
It is, yeah, it's in the book.
Yeah, so I always tried to get this, but I never got it. And also, Drake mentioned that to me a while ago. I don't know in which context, and he wasn't finding the name. Oh, I think it was in a call actually when we had a call about his new record, and we were talking about stuff, and he was like not finding the name of what they used back then. And I told him,
Right.
hey man, that's definitely
your CD.
the symphonic whatever.
Yeah.
Check the CD.
Check his CD.
And he mentioned that these like sounds were crazy back then. Like
Yeah.
that were like
They were
you were
leading,
the
weren't they?
king if you had these.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's in the intro you got this clarinet and the flute coming in.
Yeah.
Hard panned on each side.
That's so cool. I never noticed that ending in the
Oh,
album
really?
mix. In the album mix, that ba ba da ba da. I didn't
Really?
I didn't notice because it was already other instruments were
I guess,
coming
yeah.
in, so I didn't notice the
Let
ending.
me play it for you in context. You'll notice it now.
Never cut me so, and I go to say
Yeah, that's so like musical,
Yeah.
like
yeah, it's cool.
theater stuff.
And it just does exactly the same thing again later on.
Yeah,
And that is it. So I will push through that. Did I play the Glock? I didn't.
By the
did
way, I just want to mention this because I didn't mention it. I mentioned that "Fool the World" is like the favorite song of everyone, including my girlfriend. By the way,
Oh, really?
I think that song we listened to the most together when when she listened to "It's Only Time" for the first times. That song stood out.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and that's I experienced that many times with different people, like I mean fans and like friends, whatever. Most people appreciate that song
Yeah,
the most.
definitely.
That
There's
one
a
and
lot
I know
of stuff
I
in
think.
it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I Know was the
And makes
kind
me
of-
happy.
Yeah, yeah. They were the big ones, but "Fool the World" wasn't a single. You know, it was just part of the album. But
Very sad.
I think it's a popular one amongst fans.
Yeah, definitely.
The Glock and the Celestia. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very similar. There's not a whole lot of differences in these. Following the synth.
Yeah.
Very similar kind of thing. I think, yeah, there's a couple of odd little moments in it that's different.
Oh yeah, that's the Disney sound.
Is it?
I mean, I call it the Disney part of the song. It's when the orchestra does do 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 bum bum. That's the
Got you.
like not. I don't know. I always connected it to old Disney movies.
How
like
weird.
that
Oh,
sound of the
alright.
orchestra. The bum bum. It's like that happy thing that happens in like old film music. I don't know. It's
I suppose
so,
it's like a classic
Yeah.
sort of statement, isn't it, rhythmically?
yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, so that's it for the orchestral stuff.
Yeah.
I believe later there might even be. We had the timpani, but yeah.
We had the
Then
timpani.
we have horns,
yeah,
which
and that's
was played by CJ.
most of it. Yeah, that's a mixture, I think, from CJ's trumpet, but also from some of the MIDI additional MIDI horns. But yeah, CJ did the trumpet on a lot of tracks.
Yeah.
I think we can really easily hear which ones are MIDI and which ones are real.
Probably. We'll find out. So this is 4 horns, a collection of them, and this would be in the kind of first bridge part, I believe.
MIDI.
And there's a volume change.
That's the MIDI things. Yeah. But,
So that's those.
To be fair, this wasn't really mixed very loud in the song. That
No.
part, the horns of that. Also, these MIDI horns aren't the best MIDIs you can get, but yeah, I mean, I
It's
have
good
to
for 20 years ago.
yeah, and I have to say something about the horns when we are at the CJ horns. Actually,
Okay. Violins next. and cellos, violas. We highlight all of those.
Yeah.
So yeah. I love that little bit.
Yeah.
So this, if I play it with the piano, you'll get the context. It's the little movements between the keyboard hits. It's cool.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice use of that. And then we have as well. Should I continue playing it with the track with the piano so there's context to where it is?
Yeah, I mean, you can lower the
flick them on
volume a
off.
little of the piano, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, good idea. If it's not, yeah, cool.
Beautiful.
And then yeah, definitely MIDI.
Definitely.
And then we have a little bit further on. There you go, it's the
So
Disney
cool.
sound.
But I gotta say, it's definitely meaty, but the sounds obviously are like high quality
Yes.
orchestra sounds because the you can hear it's really, the sound is really like good, like really detailed kind of.
Yes. Yeah. I'm assuming this would have also been Vienna Symphonic Library. Must have been.
Yeah.
I do like this bit.
Yeah.
You know what I find really interesting as a mix choice is that this really deep, I guess, double bass
Yeah.
is panned to the left, which is unusual for a bass.
Yeah, but maybe it's only there to make that melody thing bigger, like people can
Maybe.
hear it better. Because
Possibly.
that's my choice would be even like I have that same mixing choice sometimes on vocals when I put a delay on it. I sometimes mix
Okay.
the delay only to one side because the delay is not there for people to listen to the delay. It's there to
Give space.
get people more attention to the lead vocal. So
Right.
the delay is
Yeah.
from the lead vocal, but I don't want to hear people. I don't want to have them paying attention to the delay itself so much.
Yeah, I get that.
Maybe that's why.
Possibly, yeah. It's just an unusual choice because
Yeah.
typically anything with bass would be more centered.
Yeah.
Is just the typical thing.
Yeah.
Maybe for, I don't know if it's to do with phase or not. I don't know. But yeah, it's the typical thing. So they're all the orchestral parts. Then we have the DJ E-Rock scratches. Mm-hmm. And this includes the intro part.
Yeah, before we go into that, I just want to say that there's several like musicians called E-Rock. So I never knew which one is the right one. Like,
Yeah, no idea.
is this like, is this DJ E-Rock or is this E-Rock? Because E-Rock is also like a German musician.
Well, I think it's going by the name DJ E-Rock, isn't it?
I have no clue. I just thought maybe you might know because
Oh,
there's
sorry, no, I
there's
don't know.
like a German, and he has a Wikipedia, so he's kind of known. Yeah, I don't know. Like there's a German musician and music producer called E-Rock, and it's the same spelling Yes.
I wonder if it's not the same person because everything that
Probably not.
DJ E-Rock is involved in, when you look in the files, it's a bunch of DJ scratches and other tweaked sounds, which this is what all of this came from.
Yeah.
I assume it probably would be someone different,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Listen to this.
That's the intro.
Which is made up of two separate things. Interesting.
And I mean, if you listen to the intro and then the piano, the little click in the piano totally makes sense because you would think, oh, there's still something going from maybe like a vinyl sound or something.
Let me see.
Listen to this.
Yeah,
It fits.
I get your thought. Yeah,
Especially since that's that little click. It's only on the right side. It's more on the right side, so it seems like it's panned there, like it's there on purpose.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. But of course, it's really just being captured by the right mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of all of these. Probably won't do too much of these, but... there's also something in this bridge here that I don't understand what is being said. It's sampled from something. I don't know what it's saying.
Can you play it again? Oh wow, no clue.
It sounds like "go dance" something.
Yeah.
But
Go
I don't
damn
know.
well.
I don't know. If anyone in the comments knows, let us know.
Yeah.
Competition for who's right. Yeah, it's just lots of DJ scratches.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
Dig this.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
That's the. You know what? I always thought that was Mike.
I always thought it was Mike. Yeah.
That's so
Because
funny.
he also did this on a live DVD. He said this
true.
into the mic. Dig this. Here we go.
Yeah.
Dig this.
That's also the same sound as the intro, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. It's like a orchestra hit. You hear these a lot on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean not maybe not the identical sounds, but
yeah.
a lot of orchestra hits because they were used in hip hop a lot in the early '90s, I guess.
Makes sense.
It's in the New Jack Swing, and also if you play Tony Hawk, the old Pro Skater things, you have whenever you make a kickflip or like any trick and you achieve something, you get this sound, bam,
Oh, okay.
and then there's a text like you
interesting.
just did that, and you have so many
You're the best
points
ever.
and stuff. Yeah, you get these sounds.
Yeah. Ah, interesting. I never thought about that. These trumpets now, I think are CJ. We'll find out.
Yeah. That's CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that would be a legit thing.
Yeah, and these trumpets, like that's the only thing in the whole mix of Fool the World I dislike is the way they mix the trumpets because they were kind of mixed to death and like they sound dead in the mix.
Oh, that's
I mean,
interesting.
on the album, if you listen to it, if you want to enjoy the horns, you can't because you can't. You need like you need to find them in the mix. It's kind. They were like, I don't know what they did, but if you listen to the version of the CJ, they mixed them different. There, you can
Yeah.
hear there's a lot of reverb on it, so they shine a little more, and probably they don't have. Maybe they cut away a lot in the equalizer, maybe. But on the CJ version, they sound more natural and louder.
Okay.
and more like a classic jazz swing band thing, like a big band or something. And that's something I dislike in the Drake version, that they kind of mix them to death. And I always loved the horns. The horns were a big part of my love for that song.
Okay. The other thing, I don't know whereabouts it is in the song, but whenever I listen to it, I think it's Fool the World. It also sounds a bit phasey at times.
But I think that's really on purpose, because phasing and horns I heard a lot. And it just sounds cool sometimes. You have this
enough.
also in Big Shot. There's some.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real horns, to be honest, on that. But you have a part where there's a lot of phasing going on in the horn notes, and that's cool. I think that's.
Although maybe phasing is the wrong word. Maybe it's the unison note not being quite the same, and it's sort of clashing.
That's. Yeah, I mean, that's. I still would call this phasing, because it kind of is natural phasing.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, but I think that's. I don't know. I like that, actually. Do you feel it? Do you feel annoyed by that more?
Kind of, maybe. But I mean, I obviously don't hate the song.
Yeah.
So it's not really an issue, but it's just something I always notice. My ear picks up on it, and I'm like, just slightly annoys me. For some reason.
Okay.
I'm clearly autistic. So,
Yeah.
if I remove the EQ on that, does it make it feel different for you?
Now you have to turn it on again and play it again. Maybe a tiny bit, but it doesn't do a lot.
No.
It's maybe just they just mixed it they mixed something different in the CJ version.
Yeah,
which I more
makes
like.
sense, I guess, because if CJ and Mike mixed the demo and CJ played the horns, he's going to want that to be more forefront.
Yeah.
Naturally, I suppose. Oh, I love that.
So cool.
I know we've got the same again.
Yeah.
But you do have the little bit at the end here. Oh, here.
That's on purpose.
Do you think?
100%, yeah. I mean, that's so phasey.
Yeah.
Yeah. That must be purpose. And I actually like it.
Fair enough. Such a good bit.
Yeah, it's really cool. One thing I think it's weird. It's not that it annoys me or something, but it's kind of weird. Usually, if you have a horn section in a song, it's not only the trumpet. It's like you have the trumpet, you have the trombone, you have the French horn, maybe saxophone, and this is just like the trumpet, all the trumpet, which is kind of weird.
I mean, don't forget, there's the MIDI horns.
Yeah, but they don't play along with CJ, so.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they not.
So that's like literally a horn section and a trumpet horn section. Yeah, and usually if you want to have horns, you have a whole section with different kinds of horns.
Makes sense. And then the opposite.
Oh yeah.
Which is really
Did he actually play it like that? The first
you know
one?
what?
Or did they just invert?
Do you think they just reversed it?
Reversed it, yeah. Sounds like
it. It sounds like this one is the reverse.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you can hear those scooping into it.
It's a nice idea.
Yeah, I'd never noticed that.
Same.
It's the same. Yeah, that's cool. And then what was this bit? Yeah. It's a really cool idea, isn't it? That it's these motifs that are duplicated in so many different
Yeah.
instruments.
Yeah.
Where you've got this happening also in the piano. And I guess the guitars as well. You know,
Yeah.
it's what makes the groove. It's
so
great.
Cool, yeah.
Perfect songwriting.
Yeah. All right. What do we have? Oh, we are at the vocals already.
We are at the vocals, and that is basically it.
Yeah.
It's it's a bit of a marathon song, but yeah, here we go. Drake's vocals. I don't remember doing this at all, but I must have put every single version of his vocals in this.
Oh, wow.
We won't go through them all, don't worry.
I mean,
10-hour-long
we can do a
episode.
little. We can do it a little bit, but we
Yeah.
can't go. We can't show every alternate take, but
Yeah.
maybe one or two.
Yeah, that would be a 24-hour podcast.
Yeah, we can make 5 Fool the World episodes, bonus episodes.
You know what? This is something you probably don't know, Kai. But obviously
do.
you do.
I do
'cause
know.
You're the best.
I know everything. I
It's
know
to do with the
everything
delay.
about everything.
Of course. Yeah. I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
Yeah.
It's to do with the delay, the echo farm, and it's with the vocal. So echo farm is quite a common thing on this album. Every delay is using echo farm. But what's weird is that the delay is changed through the automation to be a completely different delay from a lo-fi type delay to a ping pong almost immediately. And you kind of notice it when you know to look for it. Let me play it for you. And can you see this this delay plugin?
Yeah.
So watch it change almost immediately.
Right in front of me, a couple makes what could melt the snow. Making fun of me, a single look never cut me so.
It's not as prominent
Yeah.
when it goes to the ping pong.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wonder, why do you have Echo Farm?
How do you mean?
Why do you have Echo Farm? I thought you don't have it.
No,
Why
no,
do you have?
I-
Why can I have it?
I've got Amp Farm and Echo Farm. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, it's so
But yeah, it's a low res delay,
Yeah,
and then
it's-
it just changes to ping pong, which ping pong is more often used in most of the other tracks.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I noticed in the song that there is some change happening, but I never noticed that specific part.
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought about it.
I have a sneaky feeling it's because the intro is very sparse, isn't it? It's really just basically piano and vocal.
Yeah.
So maybe they wanted a more prominent lo-fi delay.
Yeah, makes sense. But it would make sense if it were staying longer on the other echo, because when it changes, it's still only the piano and the vocals.
True. Yeah.
So
Absolutely
maybe
no
it was
idea.
supposed to change later. Maybe that's something that happens to us all the time, probably, when we move all the tracks. Sometimes we forget to move along the automation.
Maybe. Or maybe
So-
it should have been overwritten and it wasn't at the start.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? But it was just a thought that I don't think anybody would know
Yeah.
at all. But exclusive.
Yeah.
Making fun of me, a single look never cut me so. And I go to save the conversation, I know. A deeper contemplation is all I need to make believe everyone would love me if I could fool the world.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's also underneath
yeah.
of that is Drake Low.
Yeah. That weird thing.
It's like that octave lower. Yeah.
A single look never cut me so.
Yeah.
It's quite
Maybe
funny.
it's just to make the vocal being better in the
Thicker.
mix. Like I don't know, to thicken the sound. Maybe.
The thing is, though, I think it's really obvious. When I listen to that intro part, or the verse, really, not intro, sorry, I really notice it.
I always noticed that there is something, but I never thought that it's that. Like that,
Yeah.
it's just the same
literally
recording,
the same
just
track.
pitched down,
Yeah.
an octave or two octaves.
Single look never cut me so. And I go.
Yeah, you could just hear it
Yeah,
compared to if I mute it.
Me so. And I go. To save the conversation, I know. A deeper contemplation is all I need to make believe everyone would love me if I could fool the world.
Oh, we got a little bit of a whistle
Yeah.
as well. Which I'm just curious what this bit is. Oh, so yeah,
Walk away from me.
weird. I'll play a little bit more of that verse.
Walk away from me. I see the change in the atmosphere. What a way to be. To turn the page just to make it clear.
A lot of plosives there as well
yeah.
in that recording. And just to play a bit more,
To feel or to disappear. What a waste of time.
never noticed the little. No,
Yeah. You don't hear that in the mix.
that's so weird. How have I never noticed that? That's funny. Yeah, and there's a lot more of the same, but
Yeah.
I'll just get towards the end of this section.
To change the conversation, I know a deep contemplation is all I need to make believe.
What was that? Oh, it must have been an artifact or something. That was weird.
I
Sounded
don't
like
hear anything.
maybe it was something I heard on your mic. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Everyone would love me if I could fool the world.
Yeah, world. I never noticed that. That's so weird.
Same.
What's this bit?
Ladies and gentlemen,
CJ.
back house Mike.
That's Drake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Drake.
Ladies and gentlemen, back house Mike.
CJ does one later on.
Oh, okay. But I think there's alternative stuff where CJ is doing the whole thing. Because pretty sure there's, but yeah, I never noticed that this is Drake.
Yeah, I'm certain it is. Let me turn.
Ladies and gentlemen, back house Mike.
Yeah, I'm sure that's Drake.
Yeah, it sounds like him now. I mean, we would have the raw track in the audio folder, so
Oh, hang on. Should I see if it's there?
that's not it.
Probably won't be now. I'm not going to spend all day finding it.
Oh, there it is.
Back house
It's not raw.
Mike.
It's still processed.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
Mike.
But yeah, it's certain it's Drake.
Ladies and gentlemen, back house Mike. One more time.
Yeah, that's Drake.
Yeah,
okay,
that is
cool.
Drake, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mike. One more time.
Yeah. Okay, I learned something today.
So there's a few of these versions.
Okay, you know what's weird?
Go on.
In the CJ version, there's also that happening, that moment.
But that could be CJ.
Yeah, I believe it must be because I don't know. Maybe this is not the version they did before Drake
Maybe.
worked on
Maybe.
this song with them. Probably this is just maybe CJ just recorded. Maybe it's really because they used the song on scoring and they wanted to not spoil anyone with Drake's voice. So this is,
Yeah.
because I mean we need to compare that, but yeah.
Yeah, weird thing. What was this? Okay, so
yeah.
it's that octave lower, but now it's Mike.
Yeah.
And what was this bit?
What am I feeling? What am I feeling?
Cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's basically Drake's parts.
Yeah.
Then you've got Mike
Yeah.
playing singing his part, which also has a duplicate with an amp Vox,
Yeah.
which is Amp Farm as well. Oh, that's interesting. So Drake's part is also on there.
Yeah. I don't know why, but yeah.
Weird. I did notice in this, I didn't change anything, but there are some tracks that are on different tracks.
Yeah.
You know, it said it was background vocal, but actually it's just a sound effect.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. But anyway, this is great. Mike.
I can't survive another day in the life without a day in the sun.
So good.
Yeah.
Before you touch me, here's a word of advice. If I were you, I would run. Get it, come get it, come get it, come get it.
Now, right, here's the thing. For ages, I didn't know exactly what he was saying there. I thought it was, is it get it, come get it? Is it here they come? I wasn't exactly sure what he was saying.
Yeah, I always thought, come get it.
Yeah, it's get it, come get it, come get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you listen to it, it does sound like it could be here they come, here they come.
Run, get it, come get it, come get it, come get it.
You know, while everything else is playing, it kind of could sound like that.
Yeah, but I mean, you hear the G in the get, come get
Yeah.
it. You hear the G a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. For ages, I just was like, what is he actually saying? But yeah. we know.
Yeah.
Won't you tell me why it is that every corner of my head is a home, but every fool is the same?
Oh, on that part, it's so weird. Like I listened to the alternate take of Mike, and at that part, he's doing a melody which since I heard it, I kind of wish it was in the album version. It's like the same, and then he's doing something like that, and it's so cool.
There's also one where he does after the same, yeah. You know, like just ad-libbing things.
But it's kind of like he would do it live because that
Yeah.
whoa, that's something he would do live.
That would be where he would do a guitar lick.
Yeah, he would play along with that.
He'd
on his
probably
guitar.
sing that.
Yeah.
He'd probably do what he was singing.
Yeah, he would do a lot bending and a lot of tremolo and whatever.
That's great.
Vibrato,
Hammer-ons and pull-offs
vibrato.
and yeah.
It'd be so tragic if he left me alone, but left me no one to blame. And don't it make you wonder what got us here? The covers that were under could disappear. Promises keep us and chains, my dear.
So good.
Yeah.
And you can even hear at the end there a little bit of the bleed of the track, can't you?
Oh yeah.
Really, really
It's
super
fading
quietly.
out. Yeah.
Where is it? Let me see if I can just... just a little bit there, right at the very end.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So
Sorry, go on.
the question is that here we go. Was that taken from the other Mike song called "Make Me Wait," or was he taking the "Here We Go" and put it into "Make Me Wait," or was
Good
it?
question.
I believe, I don't know. One of his songs he had that "Here We Go," and it's exactly the same, identical sound,
And also the whistle,
and
well,
also the
isn't there?
whistle. Yeah, that blow,
which is actually
thing.
along with that point, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it's whoosh, here we go.
yeah.
yeah,
Which is it'll be this.
Here we go.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I wonder, but since I saw in the Pro Tools folder that the "Here We Go" thing was titled correctly, that file, I assume it was taken from another Mike song and he put it in there. Maybe
Well, don't know.
and that whistle sound, I always, I don't know. This was like kind of the, how would you say that? Like the trademark Mike sound, kind of.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like-
Like a common sound that was.
Yeah,
in
because
a
he
lot of
also
those-
had that whistle in other tracks,
Yeah.
and
Interesting,
It's
yeah.
kind of that jellyfish, playful, how would you say, like theatrical
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
That's kind of, I don't know. And I don't know. I wish he would have just continued to release solo stuff and not
Yeah,
like he just disappeared like completely.
I mean, not physically. He's still around, but
He's still
from the
around, but
music scene. Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, real shame. I think even CJ wanted him to release stuff of
Yeah.
his. But anyway.
What am I feeling? What am I feeling?
The mic double.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And then you got him laughing.
Yeah, cool. We will talk about the ending in another
course.
episode, hopefully. But yeah, crazy. And we
Super
still
good.
have a ton of vocal tracks. I mean, we
do.
cannot listen to each of these tracks, but can you maybe listen for a moment? Do you have alternative mic takes there?
Yes. So I've got the mic vocal here that was unused.
Yeah, let's listen to it for a moment because we want to, like, we want to give a few unheard things in this podcast,
Yeah.
especially because I mean I talked with everyone involved, so not everyone.
Yeah, they
but
were happy
almost
to
everyone.
share this. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I just want to make sure people get something they never heard.
This is the first one that's here. I don't know what this actually is, so we'll find out.
I can't survive another day in the life without a day in the sun. Before you touch me, here's a word of advice. And if I were you, I would run. Get it, come, get it, come, get it, come, get it.
So hugely different, but there is a bit of a difference here.
Yeah,
But every fool is the same.
oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh, it'd be so tragic if you left me alone. But left me no one to blame.
Is that what you meant? That
Yeah.
little run?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool.
Was there any others that he does something different with? I feel like there is, because I seem to remember some. Just looking at the waveforms. Ah, here.
Yeah.
But every fool is the same. Yeah, it'd be so tragic if he left me alone. But left me no one to blame.
So forgetting your words there, Mike.
Yeah.
And I can't survive another day in the life.
But yeah.
By the way,
oh,
we
there's a
didn't.
difference here.
We didn't.
Sorry.
We didn't show a lot from alternative takes from Drake.
Good point. Should we probably do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think people
We'll do that after this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you
Ah, yeah. It's here.
is a word of advice. If I were you, I would run. Get it, come get it, come get it, come get it.
There you can hear that he's like his breath is ending there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also you can hear like these things between the lines. You can feel that he's like into it.
Yes.
Like he's doing
yeah.
like,
It's almost like a character, isn't it? Like acted out. It's really cool. What's this one?
Yeah, before you touch me, here's a word of advice. If I were you, I would run. Come get it, come get it, come get it.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun to hear all these different
Yeah.
things that what could have been.
Me alone. Yeah, but left me no one to blame.
cool.
Let's see, one more.
Well, it'd be so tragic if you left me alone. Yeah, before you.
So it seems like he was kind of aiming for doing something like that.
Yeah.
And obviously it was never chosen
Yeah.
for whatever reason. But yeah, there's a bunch of other ones here as well, which was at the end. And again, this is where the track would have been longer
Yeah.
because it goes beyond the track as it is now. And I think he was just sort of riffing for ideas. Should I play a bit of that?
Yeah. I have no clue what that is actually.
We'll see.
And don't it make you wonder what got us here? The powers that we're under could disappear. Promises keep us in chains, my dear.
Let me find it. Yeah, he's literally just trying things,
Yeah.
all in harmonic minor.
That's so cool.
Hence the
And
outro.
That's how the outro actually happened. And also, I want to say we laugh a lot, but it's not because it's not good what we hear. It's like
Oh yeah,
it's because it's kind of that laugh you do when you can't believe how artistically someone works.
yeah.
And that reminds me of, and we can mention it here, even though we cannot show it in the session of All Alone at the Disco. There's, I think, I'm trying to explain why this happened. So I think there's that one part, the pre-chorus. I'm not ready for some funk soul breakdown, and there's like a 5 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes track in the sessions where Mike is going only that line. He's going, I'm not ready for some funk soul breakdown. I'm not ready for some funk soul breakdown.
And the
I'm
track
not
is
ready
literally
for some funk-"
looped.
He's doing that 20 times in a row with different voicings, different
Well,
like
everything different, isn't it?
What he could stack later, maybe, and I mean that's cool. That alone is already cool, but I think he did that maybe because it was in a moment probably where he was alone in the studio recording backing vocals, and maybe he was away from his computer. Maybe he was in the room recording
That's a good idea.
the vocal,
Yeah.
and he just looped that bit because he knew he wanted to harmonize. So he
Yeah.
didn't have to go back. Oh, okay, I have the lead vocal. Now I have to record the backing vocal 10 times and have to go to the room with the computer 10 times to click
Yeah.
record. So I'm just looping that and doing all the vocals in one take and then cut them, separate them from each other, and then put them together on different tracks so I can make a stack. I can imagine that this is why there is like a 5 minutes thing of him. I'm not ready for some. I mean, he's
it
doing.
makes sense.
He's doing really weird stuff sometimes, and he's not even using all of that. But he's just
Yeah.
experimenting, and then he uses whatever sounds cool, and that reminded me of that, like the whoa whoa, that he's doing a lot of stuff, and maybe he was about to put this somewhere in the song, but they didn't use it, or it was in an old version of "Fool the World."
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe it was.
we can discuss about this for hours, but
Yeah.
I think maybe, I don't know, I can't promise, we can promise, maybe there will be a day where we can actually look into sessions of songs that were not released or were released very late, but yeah, but just wanted to mention that because it's
Yeah, it's a good point. It is the same sort of thing.
yeah.
There's another one here. I'm just wondering what this was.
And don't heal. Fuckers that were under would disappear. Promises keep us in chains, my dear. Ooh.
Yeah, there's
So cool.
There's a whole bunch of those, but yeah, it is really cool though to kind of see the process a
Yeah.
little bit at work, and obviously
I
for
wish
people
we
that
had
are-
all the album tracks in that.
Yeah,
Like alternative takes and stuff. So, but I mean, every episode would be like 2 hours 30 maybe. Like because
True,
this
yeah.
episode already is over 2 hours long now. But
Yeah.
it's worth it.
yeah, it's a cool thing. It's a very small insight into the inner workings of
But
things.
that's why I wanted to make this podcast.
Exactly.
Because I love documentaries about the process of making albums. I know there's nothing happening regarding Drake's records. We don't get documentaries probably. Never.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, never say never, but and
Well,
I
so
mean,
far.
I mean, a good example would be the Bad 25 documentary from Michael Jackson, which was released in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And that documentary had video footage of them in the studio, had closer looks into how they did certain things, also had some snippets of the studio recordings, like the text and multi-tracks and stuff. And that record made all the fans going back to listen to the whole album again,
Right.
but with a different with a different ear now, and with different
exactly.
different knowledge about the stuff, and you listen to it differently now if you check our podcast. Because, and I don't know, I just wanted to appreciate people. I wanted people to appreciate that record a little more. I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do. They already do. But
I mean, there's diehard fans, isn't there? That
it is that this is like a nerd podcast.
yeah,
But I always wanted to do that.
absolutely. I just thought, should I just show you a couple of the Drake things?
Yeah.
Before we do the final backing vocals, and that's essentially kind of it.
Deep contemplation is all I need to make believe. Everyone would.
Ladies and gentlemen, back house Mike.
To turn the page just to make it clear.
And then that bit is missing.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's just what they created the comps out of, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
As opposed to it being more of the real variations that we just heard with Mike.
Yeah.
Making fun of me. Sorry, I was.
Yeah, it's just creating the vocal takes that we hear today.
House Mike.
What's some of these?
A deep contemplation is all I need to make believe.
I'm noticing this is different.
And so I go.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, there's probably not a whole lot in there, to be truthful.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can also check the backing vocals now
Absolutely, yeah, let's do it.
because they
So-
are just beautiful.
Yeah. So there's so many intermoving parts, isn't there, within all of this?
Yeah.
It would take absolutely forever to go through each one. So
We
shall,
can play-
shall I just group a bunch?
Yeah, and then we can look into maybe a few of them.
Yeah, if we notice something that's standing out. So maybe these to begin with as a group, do you think?
That should be the chorus, right?
No. This will be the in the verses.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're right.
it's
Sorry.
the
Kai does know everything.
I do. Okay, I would have totally cut away all the breathy stuff there. Oh, it makes me sick. But I mean, I don't listen. I don't hear it in the album,
Yeah.
to be honest. But listening to that a cappella backing vocal track, it makes me crazy. Cut away the heavy breath parts.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
funny, isn't it? Yeah. They are really present as
I
well.
want to run now and breathe like that.
I'll continue it.
Walk away from me, see the change in the atmosphere. What a way to be. A truer thing could make it clear.
And that's a different line
Yeah.
to what
Yeah.
Drake
and,
is singing.
And yeah, we gonna talk about this probably later again, but yeah, they probably forgot this. Because
Yeah.
Drake is singing different lyrics on that part.
Yeah, because Drake is singing "Turn a Page" as
Yeah.
opposed to "A Truer Thing," and also I didn't realize in the song that these little CJ moments of going what.
Same. It's kind
yeah.
of like like what they did in "Fallen for You," in the second verse, I believe, where they had only certain words from Drake
Yes.
in the backing vocals.
Yeah.
And that's kind
Yeah.
of a similar thing.
It's
What?
Oh, he's only doing
Yeah.
what? Okay.
yeah, literally.
What?
Yeah, I just didn't know that was a thing.
A truer thing could make it clear.
Well, all of that we've had previously.
Yeah, copy
So
pasting.
literally, and then
waste of
It's interesting
Very-
that the very last vocal there, the high, I think it's a high note from Mike. It's
not
interesting
doubled.
they choose to not double that. It's only
Yeah.
on the left side, on the
Yeah.
right, no, on the left side. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, don't know what the choice was of that. Maybe they forgot.
Maybe.
Who knows?
What a troubled mind, a fortune find for another day. As you're passing by behind, see if I was gay.
That's another line.
Another line that is different in Drake's version, but they
Yeah.
didn't change the backing vocal. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagined that was also just a mistake that they didn't realize hadn't changed.
Maybe, or it was just on purpose to like because they knew no one would notice, and it's kind of
Maybe.
funny.
Yeah, maybe. It's interesting, isn't it, that Mike and CJ are doing that verse line, and Mike is super falsetto,
Yeah.
while CJ is a bit more sort of chest voice,
Yeah.
I guess. And then and also they are not hard panned either.
Yeah.
But then when it gets to that, the part after which could be a chorus, or it's the bridgey part, the first bridge, then it goes hard panned again. I think it does the same, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just cuts into it. Oh, I missed that. There's the little I know.
yeah.
And then we have the actual bridge.
Back. House. Man.
That's CJ.
Oh yeah, that's CJ. Okay.
There you go. I don't know why this one is muted. It was muted in the original track.
Okay.
Let me just hear it.
Back, house, mine. Get it, come get it, come get it, come get it.
Great.
Super powerful.
Yeah.
That's so good. Then we have the same again, but with a couple of extra vocals added
Yeah.
in.
But every fool is the same.
And just to skip that ahead.
But left me no one to blame. And don't it make you wonder what got us here? The covers that were
That's great.
Yeah.
promises keep us in chains.
Can you play that bridge
Yeah.
together with the piano, the backing vocals and the piano, because it's so
Yeah.
beautiful?
Don't cry.
And don't it make you wonder what got us here? The covers that were under disappear. Promises keep us in chains.
Yeah, that R stacks. That's what the back house sounds like to me.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
the back house productions.
So good.
That's what's going on. I imagine when you were going by the back house, like you would hear them singing these R's.
Yeah, probably. It's like the sort of Beach Boys staple, isn't it? Kind of thing.
Yeah, but just much more.
Yeah.
Because-
and then some.
Yeah,
It sounds so good. This part is the the actual outro, if I could fool the world, then
Yeah.
no one will know where I've been. And that is so heavily snap auto-tuned. But it works. And what's really cool is every repetition of it, it's a new harmony part added. So it slowly builds. I'll just play that.
If I could fool the world, then no one would know where I've been. If I could fool the world, then no one would know where I've been. If I could fool the world, then no one would know where I've been.
Yeah, it's totally on purpose, auto-tuned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it fits the synth in the
Yeah.
song,
Yeah.
I believe.
It's that instant auto-tune, isn't it? Snapping, as opposed to, it's that classic actual auto-tune
Yeah.
that people think of when they say the word auto-tune.
Yeah.
So they're the backgrounds. There are a few more here as well. So allow me just to play some of those. I believe some of these are also, I think they could be sound effects.
Yeah, I think that we had one sound effect is missing actually. It's in the after the come get it, come get it, come get it. I think there's
Could be
Something.
here or
some synth like something like that.
yeah. I think that will all be in here. Let me play. I'm curious what this sound is.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There you go.
I have no clue
There
what
it
that
is.
is.
No, let me just see. Let me try and reverse it. I have no idea. It sounds like
Well,
someone's
it was a good idea
mouth.
though.
Dunno. Yeah, weird. Not sure. What's this?
Oh yeah.
That ties into the
Yeah.
outtakes. And then we have a little bit more here.
If I were you, I would run.
Wow.
Is that pitched?
I think so.
That's super
Can
high.
you play it without the rest of the vocals?
Particularly this one.
Could
I
be
don't know.
pitched, yeah. I mean, they
It's hard to
did.
tell.
They did pitch something in "Do What You Want." I think.
Yes, it did.
So-
Well, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
There's another, I think, sound effect here.
Oh, that's actually the one I meant.
Very similar though.
Yeah.
And then this ties into the other ones that we had.
But every fool is the same.
It's really cool. It's playing with rhythms and yeah.
But left me no one to blame.
And I have a feeling I would have played this with the previous one. We do that. Let me just hear what this one is. That's the whistle. And then you've just got the CJ laugh at the end
Yeah.
as well. That's essentially it.
Yeah.
That
And it took
that is
us,
everything.
It took us almost 3 hours to record that. Like, I mean, people who's like they see a shorter edit now,
Yeah.
probably like 2 hours
5 minutes.
something. But we are almost at 3 hours now.
Yeah.
And we
It's,
have- And we have yeah, I mean if you don't have anything else in the song, I mean there's some CJ vocal.
there is a CJ vocal. Should I play a tiny bit of that?
Yeah.
I mean, we've come this far.
right in front of me. A couple makes one could melt the snow. Making fun of me. A single look never cut me so. And I go to save the conversation, I know. A deeper contemplation is all I need to make believe everyone would love me if I could fool the world.
Yeah, but people know this version. Like it's on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Are they the actual vocals from it, do you think?
I think
The actual
so.
take?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, there's... will this have the actual lyrics that's in the background vocals? I guess it
I
will.
think so. Yeah.
A deeper contemplation is all a thing couldn't make it clear. And
That's a very kind of country twang to his
what
voice.
a way to be. A truer thing couldn't make it clear.
It just feels like kind of a head noddy kind of rocking thing.
A fortune find for another day. As you're passing by, you look behind, see if I was gay. And I go.
So yeah, does have the alternate lyrics there.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I mean, I guess it makes sense. There's nothing else beyond in the bridge, but I suppose that makes sense because it would be Mike anyway.
Yeah. I think so.
The world.
Yeah. But cool to hear that though.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
we have one more outtake compilation,
we
which
do.
includes I don't know. I don't know which. We talk about it if we want to talk about it, but we will.
Yeah.
I think we will just play it.
Yeah, makes sense. So
That's the big outtake episode.
yeah, this is an exclusive.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No, I think we got it. No, Drake, that's enough.
Stop. I want to say something because I
Go
believe
on.
they had a different ending planned for that.
Yes.
Instead of the laughing, they wanted to have it different. So all these are pieces cut together to like to pretend to be a situation in
Yeah.
the studio. Like
Yeah.
like Drake says, "I think we got it," and then he says, "No, I think we need one more take." And yeah, so that's I think an alternative ending.
Yeah, there's a very well. It's not quite the same, I guess, but in What You Need, there's also alternate versions where the very beginning, I think it's Mike going,
Yeah,
and that obviously wasn't used in what was
yeah,
leaked or what you can find online.
yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll continue.
As you're passing by, you look behind to see if I was gay. I can't do it now without laughing.
Promises keep us in chains, my dear.
Cool.
Oh, fuck.
Also, just a thing to point out here. Can you hear how MIDI that keyboard is in the background? So that was not the piano tape
Oh
that
yeah,
we hear.
Play it. Oh yeah,
There is actually in
that's
the
probably
session,
a demo vocal.
Yeah, in the session that we have, there is a MIDI piano track.
Oh, okay.
That was the guide for this as well.
Oh, cool. So that's a demo, I guess.
Yeah, and that had that push thing
Yeah.
going on as well.
Yeah.
Learn your stuff, Mike.
I forgot it. It's not right. And you're fine and you're living it on. To the other part that happens right there. Yeah, well.
As you're passing by, you look behind to see what IW would say. So whoops. What am I feeling? That's a hard one. Whoa. No, now it's just gonna be dumb. Yeah, well.
What is he saying there?
What,
I put that
there?
in the odd text because I wanted to know what he's saying there. I don't understand.
No, now it's just gonna be dumb.
Now
I was
it's just
gonna
going to
be
be
dumb?
dumb.
All right, I got it now.
Like it's just going to sound stupid.
Yeah.
Whoa. No, now it's just gonna be dumb. Yeah, well.
What is Mike answering?
Let me see.
Dumb. Yeah, well.
You are already?
Can't tell.
Yeah, well.
I'm not 100% sure.
Well.
Same.
What am I? That sucked. Right in front of me.
I'd not heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So
Good fun.
so you got a bit of the feeling how it was in the studio back then. Like you kind of
Yeah.
know now. You kind of were there now. You know, like the people
Yeah.
who watch this podcast now can feel like they were part of this production.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sitting
It's-
next to Drake trying to record this song.
I mean, the thing is, all these guys probably don't fully remember because, I mean, this is
Yeah.
a lifetime ago, isn't it? It's a little snapshot in time.
Yeah, I guess when we finish this podcast, we are at the 20th anniversary of the record because I think
Yeah.
it was released in December.
October? Oh, is it? Okay.
I think December.
Could be.
Probably, I don't know. Maybe we will be done with the album before December, but I mean, it's pretty much the 20th this year.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
yeah.
so weird.
And let's think about it. These recordings are probably already 20 years old. That was the release date.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, if it was recorded in 2005,
Yeah.
then it is already 20 years.
Yeah, it is. Probably it was even older. I think Fool the World goes back to 2004, if I'm not wrong. I mean,
Okay.
the demo version.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
before
yeah.
Drake worked with them on it, they changed a lot of things, but I think it goes back to 2004.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else I want to add to it.
Same.
I don't think there is anything else.
That
we
was
can
a
add.
massive. That was a massive episode.
It was.
I mean, I don't know. I think we had one other episode where we really were 3 hours recording. I don't know which ones though. I can't remember, but one of the first episodes. But we
Could have been
knew-
found a way.
probably, but we knew that this one will be massive.
Yeah, I think this is the longest one. Now we're just considering between ourselves what do we do for the next ones because it's sort of a medley.
Yeah.
Do we
Fallen for You.
Fallen for You,
Rusted
Rusted Silhouette, and Break Me Down?
Yeah.
We're all in the same session.
Yes.
End It Good wasn't. That was in a separate one. So, yeah, I guess we're considering, do we treat that as one song or do we do, each song in
Yeah.
that 3-song medley
I mean,
differently?
I would say we try to do that as one episode, but I mean, just people you can comment on the video.
Yeah, let us know what you think would
let
be
us
better.
know what you think because we can do that, but that would mean that this podcast about It's Only Time would be done in 2 episodes, the next 2 episodes after this one. And It Good is so short, so that will be a short episode. I mean, we plan to do more episodes actually about other stuff regarding these records and regarding the back house and a lot of stuff. We have many things to talk about, and but yeah. So let us know in the comments what you would prefer. So maybe we will just check out the comments and then we decide how we do it. Maybe we also just record everything at once and then we splice it into 3 episodes.
Maybe.
Yeah. But also,
see what
I don't
happens.
know. That's kind of dumb because people know it's already edited and then we don't release it. Like it's like we just wait 2 weeks to release it.
Yeah.
It's kind of mean.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe you are physically doing the editing. You're like, oh, I've done Fallen for You. Let's release that. And then you're editing away at the other one. So
Probably. Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
But yeah, this song was massive. Yeah.
It was. But I hope anyone listening to this or watching it on YouTube has enjoyed that little bit of a deep dive into the song and hopefully has a deeper appreciation of what went into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and also like if you wanna like if you need more Drake related content now, check out on my channel. You will find a video I recently uploaded where I kind of try to remix the live record from 2008.
Okay.
Where I like kind of explain how I turn this into a stereo recording and like into a fresh mix, and it's also like 30 minutes long. And if you then don't have enough content like that, you can even find, I think, a video where I go through the stamps of the Christmas track I did with Drake 3 years ago. I think it's 3 years ago.
Yeah, it will be 3 years this year.
Yeah. So you can also check that. And we hope we'll be back very soon with more episodes. And hopefully we have a guest soon. And
Oh, a little tease.
I think that's it. I mean, if you want to check out all the other episodes, go to our channels. And if you want to go to the Buy Me a Coffee, you can do that and support us.
We really appreciate it.
We appreciate that, and leave us a comment and tell your friends that this podcast is cool. So you can also follow us on Instagram. Tell everyone like these guys, they are cool. And yeah, that's all you can do. But yeah, I mean, for now, I think that's it. And we will have Jordan now to play through the track.
Cool. All right. Thanks very much for listening, and we will see you soon.
A goodbye.
Goodbye.
Listen to this.
passing by. You might be behind. See if I was gay. Everyone would love me if I could fool